I'll still say it's a good team, but in order for me,
they're 12-0.
For me to be on the side of this is an elite championship contending team, they've got to beat the boss.
Ohio State's corners, I think Indiana has a chance to exploit it.
Indiana's either going to win a close one or they're going to get the brakes beat off of them. Indiana versus Ohio State.
This is the one you've wanted, dog. This is the one you've wanted.
And I'm not backing down.
I know you are.
Said it.
I know.
And I'll say it again. If Indiana beats us, I'll give them all the credit in the world.
See, I don't believe you.
I fully will.
You said after the Oregon game, the Oregon game, you're like, I'll give them credit if they beat Oregon. Then they beat Oregon. You're like, well, how good is Oregon?
I think that's still fair.
My goodness. I hate this podcast
This Indiana
so much.
team, I'll still say it's a good team, but in order for me,
they're 12-0.
For me to be on the side of this is an elite championship contending team, they've got to beat the boss.
By the way, I think that sentiment is fair.
You've got to come in and take it from us, and I mean, you can clearly look at Indiana and see they're talented.
Yeah.
I mean, Mendoza, to me, this is between him and Sayin for the Heisman.
Winner gets it.
Winner gets it. I mean,
that's how it should be.
Unless one of them doesn't need to do much and like a Hemby or a Bo Jackson just erupts or whatever and goes off.
All other things being equal, winner should get it.
Winner should get it, 100%. But you look at this offense, I mean, you've got Roman Hemby, you have Kalen Black, who's another guy. I mean, people really look at Hemby and go, well, that's the RB1. Black's got like 760-something yards. Yeah. This is a dual threat at running back. Even at the wide receiver position, you got Omar Cooper Jr. and Elijah Surratt, both lethal at wide receiver. I mean, this is a talented wide receiver room.
If you haven't watched Indiana this year, I mean, Elijah Surratt is going to go top 20. Mm-hmm. Elijah Surratt is a top 20 pick in the draft. I mean, he is that good. Like, it's hard to look at anybody and go, well, they're at the level of Jeremiah Smith, because I really do think he's on a planet by himself.
For sure.
And again, I'm trying to be even in defeat. Like, I'm trying to be objective, and like, if you're a Michigan fan, by the way, like, just give credit to Ohio State. Okay, they dominated you, they beat you straight up. Elijah Surratt. Jeremiah Smith is on a planet by himself. Elijah Surratt is a Carnell Tate level player, right? Mm-hmm. Who's going to go, like you said, top 20, top 15. Omar Cooper is not quite there, but he is also very dangerous. Indiana, like Ohio State, has just had very few weaknesses this year. Mm-hmm. You know, they played a couple tight games that maybe Ohio State didn't play. You know, they had a tight game against Penn State that people are going to point to. Is that a concern? I don't know. I mean, everybody except for Ohio State has had a game where they played tight. They had a tight game at Iowa. Iowa's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Iowa.
We ain't kicking field goals there anymore.
Iowa has found an offense at least for 1 year. You know, and so all that to say, Indiana, like Ohio State, has very, very few holes. Is it perfect? No. Okay, so example, right? Ohio State's corners. I think Indiana has a chance to exploit it. And you can look at the Michigan game and go, how can you say this coming off the game? Look, I still have no concerns about Davison Igbinosun or Jermaine Matthews.
And not to go back to the Michigan game, but I don't know if I told you this. My game plan, the second Michigan goes up 6-0 and Ohio State gets, or you get back on the field, I'm going down there and I'm throwing. I mean, my game plan is now I'm targeting Jermaine Matthews and Igbinosun, because you saw, and I tweeted this and got some comments from the president here at the station that thought that I was singling out the defensive backs for Ohio State.
Bill, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we
you
appreciate
probably thought it was me tweeting.
He probably did, but you saw it all game long. I mean, Jermaine Matthews a couple of different times getting in trouble, jawing at Michigan players. Yeah. Igbinosun, who we've talked about numerous times for his holding penalties, his pass interferences. I mean, all over the place. Yeah. And the second that momentum was on your side, you knew you had talented guys in McCulley and Marsh.
I wish we had taken, obviously with Marsh especially, I wish we had taken shots, because I said last podcast, and you know, I in one sense I kind of have to eat it, but in another sense I don't know if I do. I said one-on-one, I'll take Marsh over Igbinosun 8 out of 10 times. The problem is we didn't really get to see it. Now, you could say that's because Igbinosun covered him so well. Possible. I don't buy that.
Not the whole game.
I buy that it's probably more a Caleb Downs / Bryce Underwood thing, but it will be very interesting to me to see Omar Cooper and Elijah Surratt against these cornerbacks because I do think that's a weakness. On the other side, you're curious to see how Indiana holds up against this Ohio State offense. They've had a very good run defense. They ain't seen Carnell Tate yet. They ain't seen Jeremiah Smith yet. What does that look like? So, I mean, and you've got these two great quarterbacks. So, yeah, the running game for both these teams, maybe the X factor. These are just good teams. I mean, let's be real. It's not crazy to say that this isn't the last time they meet.
No.
It's not crazy to say that.
No. I think there's some key things to this game as well we haven't even hit on. Like, this was an Indiana team that came in really high last season to Columbus, had no loss on the schedule at the time. Cignetti talked a lot of trash leading up to it. I mean, that's just kind of who he is as a guy.
Sure.
But he goes in and Ohio State humbles him a little bit. And you're crazy if you don't think that taste is still in their mouth. I mean, this is a team that feels like they still low-key need to earn some respect, especially from Ohio State. And they know they've got to go out there, and to really be taken seriously, they've got to get this game. And Ohio State has been focused all year, but there's a part of me that worries, okay, they saw this team last year. Granted, it's different, but they saw this team do the same thing and walk in and play them undefeated, and they humbled them.
Yeah.
And part of me hopes that they come out just as focused as they did against Michigan, against all these other teams, because then I feel very confident. But there's a part of me that thinks they might slowly overlook them a little bit because of what they experienced last year. I
don't even know that it's an overlooking thing, because I will give Ryan Day actually a ton of credit where, I questioned this whole, like, what they've been calling, the evil Ryan Day, like, well, he's relaxed and he's focused and it's one game at a time. I go, well, yeah, when you play UCLA, but what's it look like against Michigan? And he came in like cool and confident, and I'm going, let's see what happens. And to his credit, he remained very focused. And you mentioned this too, and I'll give him a lot of credit. He remained very focused, and I don't think it's crazy to say, and many others have said it. I'll agree. Now that he's got this monkey off his back, I mean, he's solidified himself as probably one of the top 2 coaches in college football right now. I wasn't willing to give him that till he got the job done. He got the job done. And now, so I don't think that it's overlooking, but I do think from a player's perspective, I don't think it's an overlook, but when you come off the emotion of a win like that, it will be a test to see how focused can you be, how geared up can you be to come off that win at Michigan. You finally got the ape off your back, and now you got to turn on and play football 6 days later. I don't think it's an overlook. I think they'll be focused, but I do think that there's an emotional element where you pour so much of yourself into that game. Can you compete afterwards? To be fair, though, I said the same thing after the loss to Michigan last year, where they turned around at the absolute rock bottom for Ohio State and turned around and played Tennessee so well. So we'll see what that looks like. There's maybe, there's always the chance too that, both of these teams feel perhaps that they have a bye locked up already. They probably do, but you better not count on it.
No.
I feel like it is unlikely that either of these teams drops out of the top 4.
Even with a loss?
One of these teams is going to lose.
With a loss, you think they're dropping? You don't think they're dropping out of the top 4?
If Ohio State lost to Indiana, I don't think they drop out of the top 4. If Indiana lost to Ohio State, I don't think they drop out of the top 4. It would depend on other games, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I would buy like a Texas Tech sliding in there over Ohio State or Indiana, or Alabama beating Georgia would not slide into the top 4.
So what do you think? This game specific, what do you think makes the difference? Who do you got?
I think that, man, this was a coin flip. I mean, it is a coin flip game. I'm going to take Indiana, but not by much, man. And by the way, I toyed with my original. I'll tell you my original pick. I'll tell you what I went with. My original pick was 34-20 Ohio State.
Ooh.
I did not do that because I just think that this Indiana defense might be better than that. I took Indiana, actually same score that I took Michigan this past week, 23-21, because I don't think you're going to score a ton of points on Ohio State. I think Indiana could get to 23. It's obviously a tough climb. I think they could get to 23. I think you could hold Ohio State to 21. I think Indiana's defense is better than Michigan's. Michigan kept them to 27. I don't think it's crazy to say, Indiana holds them to 21. What makes the difference? razor thin margins, man. I mean, I don't even know that I could say one because I feel like these teams match up so well. You know, you could say Fernando Mendoza. You could also say Julian Sayin. You could say Omar Cooper and Surratt. You could say Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. I just think Indiana gets enough margin, a bounce goes their way, an interception happens, a field goal gets missed. Somewhere along the way, I just think there's that razor thin margin that Indiana can walk it. And again, that's, if you're a Michigan fan, you're cheering for Indiana, right? I mean, you're pulling for the Hoosiers. You don't want Ohio State to have a Big Ten championship. You want to keep them from every goal they could possibly have this year.
And you failed at the first one.
So sometimes you gotta have someone else do your dirty work for you.
For me, the note that I wrote down here is you need to make Fernando beat you, which sounds like an insane statement.
But it's true.
To me, if Ohio State is going to lose this game, you've got to have it be on Mendoza having that Heisman caliber game. You got to make him earn it. You can't allow these other guys. You can't allow Hemby, Black, any of those guys to be a one-man show. You need Mendoza to have a Heisman-like performance against an elite defense.
You have to make to make them one-dimensional.
Yeah, right? You've got to force him to play hero ball a little bit.
And by the way, as an aside, call back to the Michigan game, that was one of the most impressive things Ohio State did against Michigan was. You mentioned Bo Jackson. Michigan's only hope in this game was shut down the run completely and then keep things in front of them. I thought they did okay at keeping things in front of them, but Bo Jackson had a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, and you saw it in that, we didn't even mention it specifically, that 12-minute drive.
Crazy.
Ohio State out Michigan. That's Michigan's game plan.
20 plays.
Phenomenal.
Just insane.
Phenomenal. It's hard to beat it. I mean, this is how Michigan's beat Ohio State for 4 years. Is you just lean on them. That's how I expected Michigan to do. What I expected Michigan to do late in the game was lean on them that way. And it didn't happen. Ohio State did it. If you're Indiana, you are going to have to, I mean, either way, you can't let Bo Jackson and Roman Hemby also be a factor in this game.
Yeah,
if you want a chance to win. If you got two-dimensional teams, good night.
Yeah, Julian Sain's going to have to outperform Mendoza. Bo Jackson, again, is going to have to step up and have another big game. I think he will. The one thing that we didn't really harp on that much for Ohio State against Michigan was, and we've said it throughout the season, was their red zone effectiveness.
Sure.
This is a game, just like last game, I mean, you can't walk out of the red zone being deep in territory and walk away with 3. Yeah. You got to get 6. There were 2 times against Michigan. One, Ohio State was at the 1-yard line. Then it ended up being 4th and 6. Another one, they were in at 1st and 11 or 1st and 10 from the 11 and failed to convert, had to kick a field goal. Those can't happen to win this game. If you get that deep, if you're 15 yards in, you got to walk away with points every single. You got to get 6 every single time.
And that's and again, that kind of goes back. That's a good analysis of the margin that could give Indiana a win here.
100%.
Is I had said going into Michigan, I wondered about red zone execution. It ended up not mattering in the long run, but red zone, you know, it's nice when you hit the bombs, right? And you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But when you get into the red zone, they did struggle there. And so did it matter? No, at the end of the day, but that is a margin of victory or loss that Indiana could walk there.
I do think that, kind of along the same lines of what you said, this game is going to be close. I obviously have Ohio State winning this, but I don't have it.
I don't think that's crazy.
Originally, I put this as pretty similar to what you had. I think I even had 34-20.
Yeah.
But because
it feels like it could get there.
Yeah. I felt like as much crap as I've given Indiana this season, I do feel like they're the toughest team Ohio State's played, and it's not even close.
Correct. Yeah.
This defense is still elite. This is a really, really good defense. I don't know if I see even a high-powered offense like Ohio State really putting up that many on them. So I toned it down a little. I have it 27-24.
Again, those are all within the realm of possibility. I don't think Indiana's blowing them out. I'm not going to say Ohio State couldn't do it.
I think, and maybe this is the craziest thing I've said today, and I've said some stuff.
You have said things.
And I think we even said this last week. Indiana's either going to win a close one or they're going to get the brakes beat off of them.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Ohio State's going to win by 10 plus, or they're going to lose a heartbreaker.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just kind of how it feels. And honestly, that's probably my idea for any game Ohio State plays the rest of this year.
And it will be fascinating to see, again, as we're recording this Monday, so we don't know where the college football playoff rankings are even at for this week heading into the game. We have a good idea of what it's going to look like because there's not, outside of A&M, there's not a ton of shakeup. It'll be curious to see where they go to. Be curious to see where Texas goes to. But I feel like the loser of this game is still safely getting a bye. But you want that number one seed. You want to be able to go to the Rose Bowl. You want to be able to, to do all those things. You want the better path going forward. We'll see what happens here. Maybe you want to be number 5 and play James Madison. I don't know. The Rivalry Podcast is part of the Varsity Network from Learfield and the River Podcast Network from River Radio Ministries.
New episodes out every Monday.
Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you're listening right now, and follow on social media at RivalPod and RivalPod.com.
And if you like what you hear, share with a friend so they can listen too.